If I haven't lost count, this is video number 10 in a series. I'm taping in 10-minute increments because Rumble only allows me to update 10-minute video. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, it is Tuesday, February the 9th, 2021. It's February the 10th now, 2021, Wednesday, 12 a.m. on the dot. I have chicken soup cooking on the stove. The title of this video is Passive Aggression versus Aggression. Archetypes being used are Conan the Barbarian versus George Costanza's mother versus Edith versus the church lady from Saturday Night Live. Subtitle is The Church Lady is a Demonic Spirit That Comes from Hell. Okay, so I was talking about this lady, Sarah from church, who talks with a baby voice to begin with. You ever know a woman that talks like this? Hi. It's like a little baby. Nothing against them. It's just the way they talk. It's kind of like, I've known a few women like that. It's like, that's kind of weird. But anyway, sometimes they can be really sweet. Sometimes the baby voice can be kind of like a really, it can be a passive-aggressive ploy. It can be like, I'm completely harmless. Oh, I'm like a little butterfly. Look at me. And then while they're projecting that harmless facade, then they're engaging in manipulative schemes and ploys under the radar. You know what I'm saying? So the baby voice can be a very part of a passive-aggressive strategy, right? And this woman talks like that. So she sent me this message, and I read it, and I was like, Sarah? This doesn't sound like Sarah. Sarah is not this patronizing, Sarah, the Sarah that I know, that I like very much, but I thought it was her, and it's like, she's not this condescending and insulting and patronizing, and like I keep reiterating, when I say insulting, I don't mean overtly insulting. I mean like tacitly insulting. Insult vis-a-vis patronizing. Insult vis-a-vis condescension, right? And subtle condescension, not like overt condescension. But it'd be kind of like, when a woman from the South calls you honey, like my sister calls me honey all the time. Honey! It's like, if I ever hear that word honey come out of her mouth again, I'm going to, in figurative terms, I'm going to bitch slap her, because I'm never going to be called honey again in the rest of my life, by some little 4-foot tall buck-toothed demon. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. Okay, and I know I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but that's what it's like in the South. It's just like 24-hour passive-aggressive condescension and patronizing. And so this Sarah lady came across as like really condescending and patronizing, and I said something like, I typed back, I'm like, hi Sarah, it's great to hear from you. Communicating in text, it can be really strange, and I know you don't mean to sound so patronizing, so I must be missing something, and I don't really want to respond because I don't feel like I understand what you're trying to say. I said something like that, and then eventually I understood, oh, this is not Sarah. This is a different Sarah. It's the Sarah that talks like a little baby. And then I understood, it's like, oh, she is being patronizing. I did understand. She is being insulting. Okay, got it. Okay, now I'm up to speed here. It's a different Sarah. So, now what was I saying? So that was funny. That was really funny. At least it was to me. So I think that what I was saying in the bigger sense was that, this can apply, the principles that I'm talking about, I believe, can apply on the micro and a macro level, and that really they are a gross offense to God. Because when you try to strip somebody of the most sacred thing that God has given them, their individuality, what God made them to be. He might have made them to be an artist. He might have made them to be a musician. There's a wonderful book a guy wrote who was an attorney, and he wanted to play. Growing up, he came to have the strong desire to be a professional musician, and this is like a classic story that's been repeated 1 million or 2 million or 3 or 4 million times, right? Constantly, right? in our Western sort of technical oriented, really at the end of the day, Nazi ideology infused world, but it's been repeated over and over. His parents told him, don't be a musician, you won't make any money. And so they persuaded him. It appeared to be that he came from a highly functional home. So highly functional homes, there's no raw aggression. Raw aggression doesn't happen in highly functional homes. In advanced societies, raw aggression doesn't happen. I mean, that's outsourced to the police. The police have a monopoly on raw aggression. So the aggression reverts to 100% passive aggression. So the level of passive aggressiveness just it balloons and it becomes more and more and more and more and more insidious and more sophisticated. It gets pushed off into deeper and deeper and deeper into the subconscious because nobody wants to be accused of being aggressive, even if it's only passive aggression. So it doesn't get eliminated. It just gets pushed deeper and deeper into the subconscious, and people become more and more skilled at doing it like my mom did in very I used to feel that she was attacking me in a subcutaneous, that was in my youthful mind. It's like, I feel like I'm being attacked in a subterranean or subcutaneous, like it's like coming up from under the ground. It's like, I don't even know where it's coming from, but it's just coming from a very dark place that I felt like it was coming up, it's subterranean. I can't remember if I thought about it in terms of being subcutaneous or subterranean, but anyway, it just gets pushed further and further off, So this guy wrote this book, and so he followed his parents' passive-aggressive persuasion and ended up being an attorney, corner office, the whole 9 yards, but he ended up with brain cancer. And he said, screw this, if I only got 6 months to live, I'm going to do what I always wanted to do. I'm going to go join the Philharmonic. I guess he had kept up with his violin, all those years. And he did, and his brain cancer went away, right? So, and then there's the whole thing with cortisol and stress, and, so a whole lifetime of that, blah, 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 whatever. Bruce, there's a guy who talks about it, Dr. Bruce, can't think of his name right now, but he's very well known for the biology of the emotions as they connect to the physiology, to the chemistry, right? So there's that. And anyway, I can't remember what I was saying in video number 10, but I think it's time to end, obviously, after 10 sequence segments. This passive-aggressive stuff, I know what I was saying. It's an offense to God to rob somebody of the unique identity. And it almost makes me want to cry, I swear. And I mean, like I said, we all do it, so there's no point in getting angry at people. At least we're all tempted to do it because it is great. Power is a seductive temptation, right? And a parent has an enormous amount of power over a child, so much so that power is, by its nature, when it reaches a certain level, you're not even aware that you have it. You just know that you can exercise it. And it doesn't seem like anything wrong. It's like, God gave me this power. That's kind of the way it seems, And so it's an offense to God to rob somebody of the unique individuality that he gave them, that may be completely independent of you, but in our pride and our arrogance, we think that we're supposed to spread our identity out like a poop storm to everybody around us. And then they're supposed to walk around like little poop zombies that are like a clone of us. That may or may, that's actually not God's plan at all. That's not God's plan at all. But that's our plan in many cases. And in some cases, it's extreme, whether it's family or politics, right? Politics is all about conforming the population to what your definition of right is, So, to me, this is an extraordinary subject that everybody needs to explore for the sake of their own good. And if they're not interested in their own good, then I'm going to go church lady on you here. And you need to do, and with the masks, this is my imitation of the people who try and get people to wear the masks. But I'm at the end of number 10 here, and I'm out of time. So let me do a number 11. This is Tuesday, February the 9th, 2021. It's 12:09 a.m. February the 10th, Wednesday, actually. And I don't have any more time, so I'll start a new video right now. Be right back, number 11.